All right, look, I know exactly what you are doing right now. You probably clicked on this video while having 14 other tabs open. You are arguably doom scrolling on your phone, and you have a half-written email sitting in a draft folder that has been staring at you for 3 days. You are stressed out, you are distracted, and your attention span has been reduced to that of a goldfish with a caffeine addiction. But hey, welcome to the club! Today we are talking about Deep Work by Newport. This book is basically a manifesto on why we are all becoming useless zombies and how to actually use your brain to do something cool before the robots take all our jobs. Let's be real for a second. Most people think being productive means replying to emails within 30 seconds or looking really stressed out while typing aggressively on a laptop in a coffee shop. That is not productivity. That is just looking busy. Newport calls that shallow work. Shallow work is the stuff that does not require much brain power. It is the logistical style tasks often performed while distracted. It is checking Slack every 4 minutes. It is filling out expense reports. It is the corporate equivalent to folding laundry. It has to be done, sure, but it does not make you a hero. On the flip side, we have the Holy Grail, deep work. This is professional activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit. This is the stuff that actually creates value. It is writing the code that changes the app. It is writing the book. It is solving the complex engineering problem. It is hard, and it is rare. And because it is rare, it is incredibly valuable. Think of it this way. Shallow work is like dating on Tinder. You're swiping left and right, getting quick hits of dopamine, keeping your options open, but ultimately, you're just sitting alone on your couch in your sweatpants. Deep work is like a serious, committed relationship. It takes effort, it takes time, and sometimes it's frustrating, but that is where you build a life. So why should you care? Because the economy is changing, my friend. We're moving into a winner-takes-all world. If you can do something that a sophisticated algorithm or a kid in a basement in another continent cannot do for cheaper, you are golden. If your job consists mostly of forwarding emails and attending Zoom meetings where you just nod your head, you're in trouble. The ability to perform deep work is becoming the superpower of the 21st century. It is the only way to master hard things quickly and produce at an elite level. Let's break down the lessons here, because Newport does not just tell us we suck. He actually gives us a roadmap out of the swamp of distraction. Lesson 1 is choosing your deep work philosophy. You cannot just say, okay, I am going to focus now and expect it to happen. Your brain is not wired for that anymore. Your brain is wired to look for lions in the bushes, or in modern terms, to look for likes on Instagram. You need a strategy. Newport lays out 4 different styles. First, you have the monastic philosophy. This is the hardcore mode. This is for the guy who moves to a cabin in the woods with no internet and writes a novel on a typewriter. You eliminate all shallow obligations. You do not have email. You do not exist to the outside world. This is great if you are a famous author or a hermit, but for those of us who have bosses and rent to pay, this is probably not going to fly. Imagine telling your manager, sorry, I can't come to the stand-up meeting. I'm being monastic today. You'd be fired before lunch. Second is the bimodal philosophy. This is the Jekyll and Hyde approach. You split your time. Maybe you take a 4-day weekend every month to go completely off the grid and work. Or you dedicate the entire morning to deep work and the afternoon to the shallow stuff. You're a monk for part of the time and a normal, annoying human for the rest. This is a bit more realistic, but it still requires you to have a lot of control over your schedule. Third is the rhythmic philosophy. This is my personal favorite because it's for people who lack willpower, which is most of us. You turn deep work into a habit. You do it at the same time every single day. Maybe every morning from 6 to 8, you lock yourself in a room and you work on your big project. No phone, no internet, just you and the pain of thinking. The idea is to remove the decision. You don't decide to work. You just do it because it's Tuesday morning. It's like going to the gym. If you wait until you feel like working out, you'll never go. You go because it's leg day and you hate yourself. Same principle. Fourth is the journalistic philosophy. This is for the adrenaline junkies. This is the ability to switch into deep work mode at a moment's notice, whenever you have free time. You have 20 minutes before your next meeting? Boom, deep work. Your kid is napping? Boom, deep work. This requires a brain of steel, because shifting gears that fast is exhausting. It's like trying to sleep on a plane. Some people can pass out before the wheels leave the ground, and some of us stare at the seat back pocket for 6 hours. If you're the second type, this method is not for you. Okay, you've picked a style. Now comes the hard part. Lesson 2 is embracing boredom. This is going to hurt. We have trained our brains to be terrified of boredom. If you are standing in line at the grocery store for more than 10 seconds, what do? You pull out your phone. If you're at a red light, you check your texts. We are constantly feeding our brains snacks. But deep work is like running a marathon. You can't run a marathon if you've been sitting on the couch eating Cheetos for 10 years. You need to train your focus muscle. Newport says you have to stop multitasking. And I know you think you're good at multitasking. You're not. Nobody is. When you switch from writing a report to checking Twitter, your brain has something called attention residue. It's like when you eat a really sticky donut and then try to shake someone's hand. You're still thinking about the donut. Your brain is still processing that tweet about the political scandal while you're trying to analyze a spreadsheet. You're operating at half capacity. To fix this, you have to actually practice being bored. Next time you're waiting for a friend or sitting on the toilet, just sit there. Be alone with your thoughts. It's terrifying, I know. You might remember something embarrassing you did in high school, but you have to get comfortable with the absence of stimuli. If you can't handle 5 minutes of boredom, you definitely can't handle 4 hours of deep work. Lesson 3 is the one that is going to make you mad. Quit social media. I know. You're listening to this on a social platform, and I want you to subscribe, so this is ironic. But hear me out. Newport argues that we use the any benefit mindset to justify these tools. We say, well, Facebook helps me stay in touch with my grandmother, so I need to use it. Or Twitter gives me news updates, so it's essential. But that is like eating this dumpster pizza because it has pepperoni on it, and pepperoni is protein. The tiny benefit does not outweigh the massive amount of garbage you're consuming. Instead, you should use the craftsman approach to tool selection. Ask yourself, does this tool significantly impact my most important goals in my professional and personal life? If the answer is no, or just kinda, then dump it. If you're a photographer, maybe Instagram is a crucial tool for your business. Great, keep it. But if you're an accountant, do you really need to see what your ex-girlfriend from college had for brunch? Probably not. It's cluttering your brain, it's stealing your attention units. And attention is the currency of deep work. You're basically throwing your money out the window. Lesson 4 is drain the shallows. This means you need to schedule every minute of your day. This sounds suffocating, but it's actually freedom. If you don't schedule your day, other people will schedule it for you. Your inbox will dictate your life. Newport suggests time blocking. You literally draw blocks on a piece of paper. From 9 to 11, I am doing deep work on this project. From 11 to 12, I'm answering emails. If you don't give the shallow work a container, it will expand to fill your whole day. It's like gas. If you give email an inch, it takes a mile. Also, you need to become hard to reach. Stop replying to emails instantly. Set up filters. Make people do a little work before they can steal your time. If someone sends you a vague email saying, hey, let's chat, don't reply with, sure, when works. That's a game of email ping pong that lasts 3 days. Reply with a specific process-centric email. Say, I can meet Tuesday at 10 or Wednesday at 2. If neither of those work, please send over your availability. You are not being rude. You are being efficient. You are guarding your time like a dragon guarding gold, because that is what it is. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this actually feels, because I don't want to lie to you. Deep work is uncomfortable. It is mentally painful. It is the brain equivalent of doing squats until your legs shake. When you sit down to focus on something hard, your brain is going to scream. It's going to say, hey, look, a squirrel. Or, hey, I wonder what the weather is in Tokyo right now. You have to fight that urge. You have to push through the resistance. The best stuff lies on the other side of that resistance. Think about the last time you really learned something new. Maybe it was learning to drive, or learning a new language, or figuring out how to assemble IKEA furniture without throwing a hammer through the window. It required total focus. You weren't checking TikTok while merging onto the highway. At least I hope you weren't. That state of flow is where human satisfaction comes from. We're actually happier when we're deeply absorbed in a task than when we're mindlessly consuming content. We think we want to sit on a beach and do nothing, but after a week of that, we get depressed. We need challenges. We need to build things. Deep work gives you that satisfaction. Now, I can hear some of you making excuses. You're saying, but I have a demanding boss, or I work in an open plan office, which, by the way, is the worst invention in human history. Open offices were designed by people who hate productivity and love hearing their coworkers chew gum. If you're in that environment, you have to get creative. Book a conference room and hide. Buy noise-canceling headphones that are big enough to signal, "Do not talk to me." Or just be honest with your team. Tell them, look, I need 2 hours of heads-down time to actually finish this thing so we can all go home. Most people will respect that because they are secretly desperate for it too. Let's talk about the grand design of your life for a second. Deep work is not just about getting a promotion or making more money, although it will definitely help with that. It is about living a deep life, a life where you are not just skimming the surface. We live in a world of shallow interactions, shallow thinking, and shallow values. Everything is a sound bite. Everything is a hot take. Deep work is an act of rebellion. It is saying, I refuse to be a shallow thinker. I am going to go deep. I am going to master my craft. I am going to produce things that matter. Imagine you are a carpenter. Shallow work is buying cheap particle board furniture and assembling it. Deep work is going into the forest, finding the right wood, curing it, and hand-carving a table that will last for 100 years. Which one feels better? Which one makes you proud? That is the choice you are making every morning when you decide whether to open your email first or open your main project. And look, you do not have to be perfect. You are going to fail. You are going to have days where you relapse and spend 4 hours watching conspiracy theory videos on YouTube. It happens. The point is to keep coming back to the philosophy, to keep pushing for more depth. Even if you only manage 1 hour of true deep work a day, that's 5 hours a week. That's 250 hours a year. Do you know how much you can achieve in 250 hours of pure, focused concentration? You could learn a language. You could write a draft of a book. You could build a business. Most people do 0 hours. 0. They are at the office for 8 hours, but they are doing 0 hours of deep work. They are just vibrating with anxiety and caffeine. So here's the game plan. Start small. Do not try to be a monk tomorrow. Try to do 30 minutes of deep work. Pick a task that actually requires a brain. Turn off the phone, close the tabs, tell your family you're entering the void, and just work. When you feel the urge to stop, wait 5 more minutes. Push the limit. Then, when you're done, stop completely. This is another big point from the book. Shut down rituals. When the workday is done, it is done. Do not check email at dinner. Do not check Slack in bed. Your brain needs to recharge. You cannot be in deep work mode if you never rest. You are just burning out the machinery. Say a phrase if you have to. Newport literally says, schedule shutdown complete to himself. It's dorky as hell, but it works. It tells your brain, okay, we're free now. Go watch a movie, go play with the dog, go be a human. To wrap this up, deep work is about intention. It is about treating your attention with respect. You have a limited amount of time on this planet. Do you want to spend it refreshing a feed to see what people you went to high school with are arguing about? Or do you want to spend it building something awesome? The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. The world is noisy, and it's only getting noisier. The people who can tune out the noise and focus on the signal are the ones who are going to win. Be one of those people. So go buy some noise-canceling headphones, delete an app that makes you miserable, and lock yourself in a room for a bit. Your future self will thank you. And hey, speaking of shallow work, that actually helps me out. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It takes you 2 seconds and it triggers the algorithm to show this video to more people who desperately need to get off their phones. Also, drop a comment below. Tell me what your biggest distraction is. Is it video games? Is it the news? Is it your cat walking across your keyboard? Let me know. I read the comments because I have not fully mastered the monastic philosophy yet. Now seriously, stop watching videos and go do something deep. Go on, get out of here. Shut down complete.